About 7 years ago, I was introduced to this book called The Leader in Me. At that time, I was a mentor, and I was big on empowering my mentees to become leaders in their own right. I thought that was awesome, and I always said that if I had my own school, this was the vision that I wanted for every single child. In 2010, I became the proud principal of Patton Primary School. At that time, I was able to empower the teachers to buy into that vision of leadership. We did a lot of work of identifying what it means to be a leader, and we actually used the book, The Leader in Me, to study in a professional learning community. As it pertains to allowing students to become leaders in their own right. And when we talk about leadership, we don't talk about just academic leadership. That all comes once we have certain principles in place, which may include being a leader as far as your behavior is concerned, being a leader as far as how you interact with individuals, being a leader as far as understanding what it means to do the right thing when no one's looking. Those are all the characteristics that allow an individual to be their best, and in being their best, being a student in the building, and a student in a school structure, they will then have all the tools to be able to concentrate, to be able to be a disciplined learner.
Pencil, Azir, Zaria, Zoriana. Relationship bank accounts, and relationship bank accounts are how you make somebody feel when you are talking to them or when you're playing with them. I have a question. Do you as leaders want to make people feel good about themselves, or do you want to make them sad? Good. Very good, because you're leaders, right?
Talking about leadership, and it came to me one time. I was part of a leadership team. We all were like, what is the meaning of leadership? And everybody had a different take on it. And I thought, and then I came across one that was written by Stephen Covey about communicating the potential and worth of an individual so clearly that they're able to see it in themselves. They're inspired to see it in themselves. And I thought, you know what? For me, that is a great definition of leadership because it lends itself to all kinds of things.
We, the Student Lighthouse Team, will demonstrate leadership by being encouraging and following the 7 habits. We will lead by examples and have high expectations for ourselves.
I think this initiative, The Leader in Me, has really helped not just our school, but is starting to help our community to understand that, yes, academic leadership is important, but that's not all there is. This initiative is about reaching every child and making every child feel worthwhile and developing their strengths.
Nice words. What were the words we said, Santina, for her relationship account? Okay. What words did we use for her relationship to make her feel good? What was one of the words we used to help her relationship? Say it again. We said congratulations. She did something great.
I think leadership is when you encourage and inspire others, have self-respect and self-control for yourself, and for others.
I think that leadership is when someone bullying someone. What I would do is I would tell them stop bullying them.
You know, because when I first came, I'm thinking, okay, this 7 habit thing. Okay, yeah, I know what it looks like as an adult because I've been to many conferences. But for the children, but my goal was, especially for P1, is that, okay, it sounds good, but how do we live it? And I'm telling you, P1 lives the 7 habits. They know them.
When it's time for bathroom or go wash your hands, the leaders stood up. I'm a leader for the bathroom. Well, I'm a hall leader, and they just lit up. I'm like, okay, well, you do what you have to do. And they went and they got their posts in there and they sent their children out. It was awesome to see.
What's your favorite habit and why?
My favorite habit is synergize because we work together to make these better.
Even with all the years of teaching that we have, I mean, at this table, just in general, there's always room for improvement.
Absolutely.
You know, my mom has always told me that. There's always room for improvement, Florence. So even when I come to the table and we're doing something, and you live it, you're living it, I talk it, I show the children, I role model, I have them role model, and then we talk about it even more and more. And then on the weekend, when you see a child and you watch them, you say, hey, they're actually doing begin with the end in mind.
We have great examples of leadership and of leaders that have left Francis Patton as they transition to middle school. Those individuals being able to use the 7 habits, using the language, teaching their teachers or their peers about how they are a leader. At this point, it is very important for us here at Francis Patton Primary to become accredited with, having the status of being a lighthouse school, because for the past 3 years we've put a lot of work and energy in growing leaders. What I've seen this year, and I'm so very proud, and it shows us what happens when you put hard work in, is that our current P6 leaders, these individual students, about 18 of them, have been, on the journey of becoming a lighthouse school and, living by the 7 habits, and they are now our P6 leaders. But we have students who are very respectful. They're using the habits to help them push themselves academically. We embarked on a journey to begin allowing all stakeholders to understand the vision for leadership. In order to continue this leadership initiative and to allow osmosis to take place within the island, so it travels from not just Hamilton Parish, Francis Patton, but all the way to St. George's and Sands and Warwick. We need to allow ourselves to partner, and with this partnership to continue the legacy of leadership, it means financial contributions. And financial contributions will aid in us being able to continue to buy resources, in aid with us being able to continue to provide a lot of professional development for teachers and staff and parents and community.
I am Dr. Kenneth Robinson Jr. I am Dr. Kenneth Robinson.
To allow everyone to be on the same page of understanding what this leadership banner and this privilege means. Come visit our school, speak with our parents, speak with our young leaders, speak with our staff members, and see why it's important that you partner with us as we continue to grow our students as young leaders and young scholars. I'm very proud to see that the vision that I started way back in 2010 is coming to fruition. Francis Patton Primary will become the first leadership school, the first lighthouse school in Bermuda in May 2015.
At Francis Patton Primary School, we develop leaders one child.
One child.
One child.
One child.
One child. One child.
One child.
One child. One child at a time.